Digimon is quite simply awesome, though such a statement used to be a death sentence for a child in the late 90s growing up. You see, in my elementary school, what was cool was law, and everything even remotely similar to the cool without actually being cool, as judged by 10-year-olds of course, was immediately shunned. Digimon came into the picture in my elementary school when Pokemon was at its peak, and just because both titles ended with Mon, and the premises of the shows were similar in ways, Digimon got the short end of the stick for being introduced second to everyone. The reactions I would get for even mentioning Digimon went something like this.
Oh, what's this? Digimon? That's just totally a rip-off of Pokemon because they both have Mon in the title. Oh, what's this? Little itty-bitty monsters that run around and have children taming them? Now you're just a rip-off of Pokemon even more. Next thing you'll tell me is that they have cards and motorcycles. Oh, what's that? They do? Well, now you're just a rip-off of Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. I'm such a bastard.
I had a very strange childhood. But often nerds of like minds grouped together to bask in their nerdiness, and eventually I was able to find two like-minded Digimon-loving nerds, and together we traveled to the electronics store. And by that I mean we begged our parents for ages. And then we were able to come together, walking proudly through our school, carrying our Digivices. Seriously, these things are like Tamagotchis on crack. They have the little slot for where you swipe the cards, and then we were like, of course, it has little prongs here, so you have to connect them so that they can fight. So we were like, and that was amazing. But soon our Digivices and our love for Digimon got shelved to be replaced by Yu-Gi-Oh cards. My soon-to-be massive obsession with anime, as you see behind me. And Digimon just kind of faded away. So imagine my surprise when a year ago my girlfriend got me this for my birthday. Apparently my reaction was the most priceless thing ever. And it also happens to be like my favorite Digimon season. Sure, season 1 was good and it was the first, so it's what brought me into liking Digimon. Sure, season 4 has Crispin Freeman, but I didn't know that until much afterwards. But Tamers holds memory, well, mainly because it happened to be the season from which my Digivice belonged to. See? And with that extremely long prequel, I shall continue into the actual show in my giant ham-like voice. Let me tell you a secret. Digimon is the son of Lane. Dun dun dun! Review mode is on! Digimon Tamers was brought to you in large part by Chiaki Konaka, the very scriptwriter who penned Serial Experiments Lane. And he just happened to do the series composition for this. Now this begs the question, why would you give the scriptwriter for Lane a children's show? Food for thought. Now on to the plot! I just rhymed.
Warning! All following plot-related elements are taken from the English adaptation only. Any differences between the original Japanese version and the adaptation are not known by the reviewer, and unfortunately will not be mentioned. Now, there are many things about this show that are similar from the first 2 seasons, but that's not a bad thing. You don't try to fix what isn't broken, eh? Though the initial concept for this particular season is that the first 2 seasons of the show, instead of just not existing anymore, became a television show within the television show. And back when this came out, it was like the most original and awesome thing ever to my little 12-year-old mind. Because that meant that the show was taking place in our world, the world of, like, us, watching the first 2 seasons of Digimon. And it was exciting. Shut up, leave me alone. Meet Takato, the obvious protagonist of this Digimon season because he is the one wearing the goggles. Takato is your everyday average elementary student. He goes to school, he plays card games in the park with his friends, and he accidentally creates a Digimon named Gyomon out of drawings that he made. So that last part isn't average, but you get the idea. So, being a child and a fan of Digimon himself, Takato believes that what has just happened to him is seriously the best thing ever. And indeed, it probably is. until other less friendly Digimon start appearing and begin to destroy the city. Fabulous.
So as a quick way to blitzkrieg through the rest of the characters, we're going to play a little game. Name that anime character! You see, one of the things I like to do when I don't know the actual name of a character from any show, I usually refer to them in my mind as another character who just happens to have the same voice actor or actress. And I usually continue doing this until I know the actual name of the character. So let's go!
So when these Digimon start appearing, Takato runs into Sora and his Digimon, Izzy, as well as the badass Digimon Queen, Ed. Now, Henry, as Sora's character is actually named, is probably my favorite out of the three main characters. Sure, Takato's Digimon Guillaumon may have been Bebop's Spike in another life. Sure, Rika's mom happens to be the Major, but Henry is the only tamer whose Digimodify sequence makes him seem like he's about to morph into a Power Ranger. So the Tamers begin to run around the city, stopping the evil Digimon in their tracks. But what would an awesome show be without an evil government-funded corporation? Which happens to be run by Guillaumon. Yamaki. Damn it, Steve, stop having so many awesome roles.
So, are you kids taking off?
Yeah.
Let's see, anyone else of note? Well, we have Tsukasa as the wonderful, cute, and adorable little Kalumon. Oh, and we have a token love interest, Jerry.
Hey, don't you boys ever get tired of Digimon? That's all you talk about.
Wait a minute. Lane!
Okay, let's see. I guess that I'm confused again.
But she seems so cute and innocent to be Lane.
Oh, she may look like a woman. All those curves and the swirls, everything suggests she's a woman, but you get caught for 2 seconds in her clutches, and you'll come to know she is the spawn of Satan.
You mind?
So, in plot summary, awesome Tamers with their awesome Digimon fight against evil Digimon and evil-like corporations in order to save the world. Film, edit, release, and you're done. Now, there were a few things I didn't like, but they're small, so I'll be brief. In general, on the whole, the only thing I really hated about any individual episode was the to-be-continued bits at the end, half because the episode was over, and half because I really hated the voice actor who did it.
Guess we'll see on the next Digimon Digital Monsters.
He also happened to do Davis in Season 2 of Digimon, and it's one of the reasons I never completed Season 2. In the animation department, the show is excelling when you keep in mind that this is a 52-episode series, and you have to keep the quality up for that whole time. Sure, they like reusing footage and dragging out the Digivolution sequences as much as they can, and I can forgive them for that. Though for most of the second-tier evolutions, they start to use a massive amount of bad 3D, and I just found it really, really distracting. As I have never watched the original sub for the show, I can't really compare it to the dub. But by voice actors alone, you have a solid cast, and considering the fact that not only do you have Mary Elizabeth McGuinn acting, but also doing the ADR directing, yeah, you pretty much have the best dub for any children's show ever. If not one of the best dubs of anything ever, though such a claim requires a little bit more thought than I just gave it.
Which leads to the final verdict.
The show includes a script penned by the original creator of Seal Experiments, Lane, a dub with a solid cast directed by the Major herself, among a vast amount of other awesome things. However, the show has some laughable 3D effects, and it can be extremely hard to get a copy of, though that's hardly enough to detriment it. So, if you can get a copy of it, do it! Not only as a piece of nostalgia for our childhood, but just as a solid anime series in general.
So that's it from me. And until next week, Momentai, everyone.
Momentai.
Later.
Hello, Ark. Congratulations on 2 years. Good luck with next week's review. Pie? Who would send me pie? No.